Hello and welcome. For the first time this year, you are on Cricbuzz. It's the first time this year, right? Unless it happened before and you didn't call me. It's no formality. Okay, so I'm here for the first time this year on Cricbuzz Live. My name is. It's been a while since Gaurav. I'm Gaurav Kapur. Just hold the placards up. Thank you. I'm Gaurav Kapur. This is the India South Africa White Ball series. That's right. It's time to forget the red ball nightmare. I have no idea. What red ball? What you talking about, man? What you talking about? It's a new day. It's a new game. It's new hope. It's new happiness. And it's a new panel that we have here. Not new. We kind of still have our old faces. But I do have the rumor mill telling me that I think Dinesh may have a new face. Is it true, Dinesh Karthik, that in the new year you got a Botox shot below your eyes? No?
I would
Why you giving rumors,
actually.
No fillers, nothing.
No, the auction is coming.
You're on mute. You're still on mute. Are you on mute? He hasn't done this in a while as well. Has he? He did this.
No.
You were doing this a few days ago. And now you are. There you are. There you are. Yes.
Tell me you can hear me.
Yes, I can. No fillers, nothing.
No, I'm just trying to. The auction is round the corner.
For so long. You've been out of this for so long, you forgot the guy who needs the Botox is still to be introduced. He's the young guy on the panel.
Sir, but you don't understand. You are drinking from the eternal fountain of youth, sir. You need nothing. Sir, Botox needs you, sir. You don't need Botox.
I saw him running between wickets when he made that 100 for Tamil Nadu. And I think he's still young enough.
That is true, actually. He's a little dynamo. I say there are two people that if any energy drink wants to take out their blood and put it in the energy drink, Ashish Nehra, Dinesh Karthik. These are the two energizer bunnies that we have. Take a little bit of the DNA and put it in your energy drinks. We're going to need some energy today, Harsha, as Indian fans, of course, people despondent after what happened in the test series. But as they say, Raat gayi, baat gayi. It's a new day in Pearl today, which is not a funny way of saying pearl. It is called Pearl.
And it doesn't matter to all these young fellows, but Pearl and Cape Town and all this is a great center for wine, as Dinesh Karthik will know, because I've seen him in duty-free shops going into the wine counter. So he'll understand where good wines come from. But this is about cricket. Yes, Raat gayi, baat gayi is absolutely true. But once the white ball series is over, you cannot forget what happened in the red ball series, because that had to be in their series. And now it'll be interesting to see how they fight back. Last time they lost 2-1 in South Africa. They won the ODIs 5-1. But you're right. I mean, when was the last time India played one-day internationals? They they flower occasionally. Even the mango season comes more frequently than ODIs.
That's right, because mangoes are getting Botox shot these days. That's why they're pretty much here throughout
You just
the year.
Dinesh a mango.
No, I think, man, don't go, stay, don't go, stay here. But it is true, right? With so much cricket happening, Dinesh, and you feel like cricket is happening all the time, you're hard pressed to think of the last time India played a one-day international. It's been so long.
Oh, absolutely. The last time actually India played, there were two Indian teams that play at the same time, one in Sri Lanka and one in England, and Shikhar Dhawan is leading the side. So it's a completely different setup now. The coach was the same in Sri Lanka, but it's a new coach for all formats of the game. Rahul Dravid has come into the mix, and some very interesting decisions taken, not by him but by the captain himself, and moving away from Test cricket. So many things have happened in the last couple of weeks. It's been a very, very interesting, to say the least, a couple of weeks. But I completely echo Harsha's sentiment. I think it was our series. Just the fact that we couldn't find a way to win the next Test match, or just one Test match beyond that, was something that, I think, knowing Rahul Bhai, I think it'll stay and hurt a little bit, because I think he almost put one foot outside the door and got in, but it didn't happen. But having said that, this one-day series is something very, very interesting. I think it's the start of a journey for the 2023 World Cup, and in many ways it starts here.
Yeah, there's a Rahul Bhai and another Rahul Bhai, a Rahul Bade Bhai and a Rahul Chote Bhai, who are in charge. But remember that that one Rahul Bhai has actually been in charge of the men's one-day team a little more than the other Rahul Bhai. There is a younger Rahul Bhai who's the inexperienced Rahul Bhai, and an older Rahul Bhai is an experienced Rahul Bhai, because he was in Sri Lanka with Shikhar Bhai leading that team, and that team did very well. And now here they are, new captain, new day, new series, losing track of captains. Feels like the Indian team of the late 80s or the Pakistan team of, well, always. Lot of captains around, Harsha.
Have you been having too much coffee?
It's just, it is.
I mean, that last sentence, you were on turbo, man.
I'll tell you why. I spoke with Ashish Nehra a few hours ago. It's the after effect. I'm hungover.
Yeah, I think India will miss Rohit Sharma as captain and as opening batsman. Nothing you can do about it. The question is when he goes back, will he be captain for a long time? Is Rahul an apprentice captain who's got the job? Or are we looking long term? I think in this game, you want India to win, of course. You want to see if the balance is right. You want to see if someone like a Venkatesh Iyer who can bowl a bit is made for a higher form of cricket. I mean, IPL is a pretty decent form of cricket, but DK will be able to tell us that better, whether he's ready for a higher form of cricket. But I think more I think at 5 in Vijay Hazare.
No, very true. Even though I think that decision was not solely his, I think Chandrakant Pandit, the coach, he always has some interesting tricks up his sleeve. This was yet another one where he challenged him in various situations. One game I saw him batting at 4, one game at 6. He started the tournament at 7. So he pushed him at different spots and he did what's exactly required for Madhya Pradesh to win. He wasn't interested in Venkatesh Iyer looking to, making his spot in the Indian team as a middle order, but it worked well for Venkatesh Iyer. I think he does have the potential to do well in the middle order. But if you do ask me, his strength is definitely opening the batting. There is no doubt about that. He's grown up doing that. He started as a middle order before the opportunities that he got as an opener. But now I think he's very comfortable opening the innings. But for Madhya Pradesh, he's consistently batted middle of the order. He's not batted too much opening the innings. In Vijay Hazare and Syed Mushtaq Ali, he batted in the middle of the order and did well for them. I mean, two people who made the Vijay Hazare look an absolute joke, and I know you tweeted about it as well. Rituraj Gaikwad and Venkatesh Iyer. You don't need to go searching for their names. It just popped up on you every time you just open that scorecard. The cricket as the sixth bowler. Certain wickets, yes, but not all wickets. So that is the part that I'm really looking to see if he has it in him to bowl normal balls and construct overs, at least 3 to 4 overs in a spell, which is the interesting part. He's not a, let's make it very clear, he's not a Hardik Pandya in terms of speed. But you don't always require speed. If you can land the ball at good length, if you can get it to move, these are the other things that you can have, which I presume he has. I haven't played against him as a bowler, but definitely is one of his biggest strengths is the change of pace, which works brilliantly in T20. So definitely in T20s, you can look at him as a bowler, but one-day cricket, and I think this is Venkatesh Iyer's series in many ways. We need to judge him whether he is that sixth bowler that we are looking for elusively for some time now.
It could be, though. They could have him open as well. I mean, there is Shikhar, of course. Rahul, who has batted pretty much everywhere. And, a year and a half ago when he was batting at 5 and he was also keeping, of course, he was piling on the scores over there. Could the captain do that, though, Harsha? Could he say, all right, I'm just going to throw up this wild card. I'm going to throw Iyer, who is playing today. He's got his cap. He plays today. India's going to be batting second, of course, because South Africa has won the toss. But here you go. There's the team with Rahul as captain. Shikhar Dhawan, who was actually captaining the last time India played in ODI. There's Virat Kohli, who was captain the last time India came onto the field as a cricket team. There's Shreyas Iyer, who wants to be captain in an IPL team. There's Rishabh Pant, who people are saying could be the next captain. Then, of course, there's Venkatesh Iyer playing his first game. There's Lord Thakur, Bhuvi. Two slow bowlers in Ashwin and Chahal. You've got the off and the leg there. And of course, Jasprit Bumrah, who carried the heaviest workload for India in the Test series. Interestingly, the heaviest workload carried for South Africa was by Rabada. They've decided to rest Rabada, but Bumrah still the workhorse, Harsha, for India.
Yes, and Bumrah's got to bowl 10. I think that bowling is a little short, because they've got...
We'll just come back to India. We'll come to South Africa in a second. Can we just come back to the India 11 again on screen, please?
I actually wanted to, but producer put South Africa playing 11.
No, sir, it's back, sir. I control this.
I
control, sir. Don't worry.
On KL Rahul opening the batting, if you're the captain and you have the option of opening in a white ball game, there is no force on earth that's going to move you from that spot. Everybody wants to open the batting. So
it's like gully cricket, right?
Open the batting.
I'm captain. I bat first.
But he is such a good white ball player. He's so versatile that when the option opened in the middle, he started scoring 100. He scored 100 in the middle order. So he's that good a player. I mean, you're looking at what, 50 versus 51. Middle order strike rate will be more because he's playing towards the later end of the innings. He would have accelerated over there. But he is such an extraordinary white ball player that he can bat anywhere. Of course, he's going to open the batting, and they will have Venkatesh Iyer down at 6. This is exactly the team I thought they would play, with Iyer giving a little breather there, a little packing space in case Shardul is a little expensive, in case Bhuvi is a little expensive, because Bhuvi is another person on whom all eyes are going to be. And the third thing that you're going to look at in the first half an hour of the game is, can India take wickets in the power play? Because it's become a bit unfashionable to take wickets in the power play. In terms of both economy rate and wickets, India down at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, just your word on this, on the 11, Dinesh, if there's any surprises for you there.
To be honest, there's no surprises, but I think India has to make up their mind. I'm convinced that KL Rahul is one of the best white ball openers, irrespective of the format. He should open with Rohit. He and Rohit form a formidable opening combination. I think that needs to be settled. The only question that needs to be asked is, who is the third backup opener? Is it Rituraj? Is it Shikhar Dhawan? What are you looking at 2023? And move in that direction. There's no confusions. Yes, there are openers galore in India who are doing fabulously well. But the moment you start accommodating people because they're so talented and don't find that person doing exactly what they should be doing, then you set in things motion which you don't want as you close in on the major tournament. So I will want KL Rahul and Rohit to be permanent openers. There's no doubt about it. Shikhar Dhawan, Rituraj, Devdutt Padikkal, Prithvi Shaw, Shubman Gill, you decide who you want and you keep them as a third opener, give them enough and ample chances. And then you move on to the middle order. Virat Kohli at 3, Shreyas Iyer at 4, I think Rishabh Pant at 5. Then you have a Surya Kumar, Venkatesh Iyer and the likes who will churn out a few more. So they get the opportunity there batting at 6, and you give them a long run. And the middle order, you need to trust them and give them a little time to flourish. And the bowlers, solid. I think the 5 bowlers that they've chosen, always a question between whether Bhuvi or Deepak Chahar, considering how well he did in Sri Lanka. But they've gone with the old warhorse, and fair enough. I think he deserves that opportunity. He's somebody who's gone back to domestic cricket, shown his fitness, which is what they were doubting, and he is ready to play international cricket again. His skill is never in doubt. It will be in doubt if he doesn't bowl as fast as what he used to. That is the only question that people keep asking. So let's wait and see what he turns up with in South Africa. But for the moment, they've chosen 11. And the one name I'm really happy seeing is Ravichandran Ashwin. He deserves a spot purely on the merit of how well he is bowled in the last 6 to 8 months. Every opportunity given at any point of time, he's grabbed it. The bowler in T20 World Cup. And I'm really looking forward. It's nice to see his name on the list. He deserves that spot.
Yeah, just one name though, Surya Kumar Yadav, because Surya Kumar Yadav is a person who again has been in just rip-roaring form. He's been on fire, in the last couple of years. But Harsha, he probably can't find a place there because he's not here. You go with Venki Iyer over Surya as number 6, and that 3, 4, 5 is chock-a-block. You've got a little traffic jam over there. So it's more a position play than a form play, isn't it?
It's a bit collateral damage when you come down to that number 6. If one of the if the bowlers could bat better, or if one of the other 5 could bowl a little bit, you would have looked at Surya Kumar Yadav at 6 and tell him, look, 15 overs is what you're to bat. You bat at 6. But do we trust our 5 bowlers by themselves to give you 50 overs? Look, in the days gone by, India always played like that. But you had a Ganguly, you had a Tendulkar. Even when Robin Singh was playing, you still had a Tendulkar or someone or Yuvraj in between to give you those overs that allowed you to play an extra batsman. In this team,
Raina, Sehwag, they were all of them.
Everybody. Here, if someone walks off, KL Rahul is looking at Virat Kohli and they say, please, do overs. Because there's nobody there who bowls. If there's someone who bowls. So if I was Surya Kumar Yadav, 3 years ago, I started bowling. Or a bowl as much as Kedar Jadhav. 3 overs, 4 overs, 5 overs in an emergency, I'm there. Then I can bat at 6 and you can play 5 bowlers. But today, just as in a T20 game, you go in with 22, 23 overs. In a 50-over game, you have to go in with about 53, 54 overs available to you in case someone just walks off. Someone pulls a hamstring, goes off, as happened when Vijay Shankar bowled those overs against Pakistan in the World Cup. And Vijay Shankar delivered you 6, 7 overs. So I think that is why they needed Venkatesh Iyer at 6.
I just want to butt in here a little bit and say, with the current ODI rules, it's very difficult for a part-timer to survive because you have the extra fielder. You need skills as a bowler. So you need to practice consistently if you want to be that 6th bowler. It can't be something you just think and you think, okay, let me come and bowl. Because with 5 fielders inside, the whole dynamic of how you bowl changes completely. And that's where India have struggled a bit. They need to genuinely either encourage all-rounders and give them time to, obviously settle down in the team. If they keep chopping and changing, which I'm pretty sure won't happen with this team, then it's very hard. Then the chances of you getting that all-rounder after Hardik Pandya increases.
It's that term that that North India uses a lot. You can't be a chore bowler with these new rules, right? You've got to be a proper bowler.
You can in T20 because you can slip one over in. You can say, I'll bowl 7 and 11 and go away.
Yeah, and not in ODIs. South Africa, of course, have won the toss. Temba Bavuma back as captain and missed out because of a finger injury for a while. What is it? I think missed about, not too many, I think about 5 games or something. But there he is as captain. The interesting one, of course, is Quinny de Kock, who is there, retired just all of a sudden from Test cricket after one game. And then, of course, Janeman Tere Domalan. There's Temba Bavuma, Adrian Markram, who plays at 4, Rassie van der Dusen, David Miller, Keshav Maharaj, Philip Guayo, Marco Jansen, so impressive in the Test series, Lungi Ngidi, and Tabrez Shamsi there. I think the interesting point here, and we'll come to the rest of the squad's makeup. DK, for you, Quinton de Kock playing in this series after what has happened, and you can tell. I mean, we don't really need to know South Africa, the deep workings of South African cricket on the inside, but you can tell that obviously there was stuff that was not right, especially after the World Cup, and then him quitting cricket like that. For him to come back here into this squad, it's going to be interesting for him as well as for the rest of the squad as well, right?
100%. I think, these have been some turbulent times for him in his personal life, when it comes to obviously how he's handled certain situations, which the country and the cricketing board have decided to go in a certain direction. But he's in many ways, I think his ideas probably were not in sync with what they wanted to do. And there's been a bit of friction. Yeah. But I think post the World Cup, they tried their best to iron it out, but it didn't really look great, let's be honest. But in spite of all of that, they did really well in the World Cup. I think one of the 2 teams that did phenomenally well and punched way above their weight was 1 South Africa and 2 Sri Lanka. These 2 teams, I thought, the T20 World Cup did very well for themselves. But this series, especially after him quitting Test cricket completely, which came as a bolt out of the blue for everybody involved, I think this series becomes very important for that reason, because I think obviously he himself would like to do well. And most importantly, a lot of these foreign players who are part of the IPL, let's admit it, they know when an auction is around the corner, and if they can show some form, it only helps their bank balance. So, I don't think he'll be any different. And, he's not had a great run in the last 6 to 8 games that he played with Mumbai. So he needs to show that he needs to, he's right there and he's ready to do as well as he can for himself and in terms of to whichever team he associates himself with.
Yeah, because there's a few keeper batsmen playing their trade now who are looking at that weekend in February for the auction. Harsha? There's a few, right?
There's a few. There's a few wicket keepers only, but that's the only good thing.
No, it's interesting. And what he said is right. You can, everyone looks at this IPL as if to say, I'm cool about the IPL. Nonsense. The heart is beating about the IPL. These are life-changing things. Yeah. Most of the people who say, I'm actually giving up the opportunity are people who would not have got a break. So
it's like it's okay. I'm not going to the party. It was like nobody invited you, buddy.
It's like me saying I'm giving up the opportunity to have equal role with Bachchan in the next movie. But did you have the option in the first place? So I think with Quinton de Kock, what DK is saying is absolutely right. That he will want to put on a show here because opener, left-hander is a good combination to have. But he fills an overseas slot. So he's got to be very, very good at what he's doing. So that is the name to watch out for. The other thing is exactly what DK said about the Indian team. They've gone with 6 batsmen. If something happens to a bowler, they've only got Aiden Markram. And Aiden Markram might have done okay in T20 in recent times or in Sri Lanka. Where they were playing on those kind of wickets. So
come on, in Sri Lanka, he was their best bowler. He was their best bowler in Sri Lanka.
Yeah,
he just kept taking wickets.
But if you look at that, if you look at that side, I just wrote down the averages this morning. I'm not trying to show off that I did some work, but if you want to infer that, that's okay.
You are a student of the year, sir. Come on, please.
Bavuma 45, Rassie 65, Malan 82, Miller 40, de Kock 45. That's a very good top order. The only person who averaged under 30 there is Aiden Markram himself, but he's trying to reinvent himself in the middle order in the white ball game. But I still think they're a bowler shot. I'm not sure Peklo Kwayo and the other day in, day out 10 over bowlers.
GK, if I might just come in here, I just want to say that Aiden Markram, for his batting technique and the way, I don't want to get into the technicalities, but the way he brings down the bat and how hard he goes with his hands, I think he'll make a fabulous batsman in the middle of the order. I think, even in Test cricket, if you look to bat at 5 or 6, I think South Africa need a player there with his technique, especially in South Africa where the ball seems to seam so much. He's always going to be found wanting either for the LBW, which comes in, or with his hard hands, he'll end up, nicking it off the slip. And he's a very attacking batsman at that. If he finds a way to convince, maybe play a year of domestic cricket in the middle of the order, or, if they have enough trust in him, which they seem to, find a way to bat at 6, I'm pretty sure he'll do very well, because I saw him bat in IPL as well. He has hard hands, but the ball flies off the bat. So in white ball cricket in the middle of the order, he'll definitely do well. The only thing that's going to be a challenge for him is when he's chasing totals, how calm is he? He looked pretty calm for me in T20 cricket. Let's see how well he goes in this one-day tournament.
Yeah, it's also the kind of grit that, we saw the kind of grit a team gets when you've got a gritty captain like Dean Elgar, right? Which we saw in red ball cricket. Harsha, Temba Bavuma's no less.
And he's batting very well. There's some people who make batting look nice, like Peterson made batting look a good job opportunity. Dean Elgar is someone who makes batting look so difficult. It's almost like you're saying, I'm climbing Everest without oxygen, man. Someone get me there. We'll get there eventually, but he makes batting look difficult. So, he's not here. Bavuma's been a fantastic leader of men. I know that it doesn't count when it comes to tactics, but the way he handled the Quinton de Kock situation in the T20 World Cup spoke of him as a wonderful man manager. Whether that translates into tactical skills, we'll have to wait and see. He's still a very, very young, inexperienced white ball captain. We'll wait and see how he goes.
Of course, let's just talk about we started talking about it, so let's talk about that, because we've got 2 new teams. There's Ahmedabad and there's Lucknow. And DK, a little buddy, Hardik, look at him. He's grown up.
He's grown up way too fast for everybody's like, geez, he's going to be... I'm really looking forward to seeing Hardik Pandya the captain. That's one of the thrills of this year's IPL, I feel. And he's obviously picked 2 very good cricketers to go along with him, both match winners in their own right. Rashid Khan is the best in the world. And add that Shubman Gill, who's obviously shown the potential to be a consistent match winner. And, I think they've got their first 3 picks right. It's important what they do on Feb 12th and 13th in the auction table.
Absolutely. I have to tell you, Harsha, I had a chat with Ajay Jadeja and I said, hey, what do you think about, Hardik as captain? He says, I love it because this format, you need mad, crazy, unpredictable guys to be captain.
But I'll tell you what, when you're someone like Hardik Pandya, it's almost as if people are saying, no, he can't be captain. Look at his personality. Look what he is like. All I would tell people is judge him by his performance, not by the flamboyance, by the lifestyle, whatever. The only pressure I see for him is if he's not bowling 4 overs consistently, then he'll be telling himself, am I worth my place in the spot, which he always is. He's a fantastic batsman. But if he's not scoring runs and he's not bowling, that pressure, I will wait and see how he handles. I hope it doesn't happen, because I love watching Hardik Pandya play. There's a, beneath that, wow, come look at me. There's actually a little innocent guy underneath, which, DK knows him very well. I've also been able to see a little bit of. So that one, the one I'm interested in is the other side. I can understand KL Rahul. Maybe they thought Bishnoi is a value for money, uncapped player. I'm getting him at 4 crores. Chalo, leke rakho. I've got a wrist spinner, so I've got 4 overs there. Marcus Stoinis at 11 crores. Marcus Stoinis is sitting back in his house and he's telling his family, just stop me, because I can't stop laughing. He's a good player. There's no doubt he's a good player. The reason he's getting that money is the number of batsmen in the top 6 who bowl seam up and give you 4 overs, you can count on your fingertips today. With Stokes not available, who else is not available? Chris Morris has retired. The number of players who can do that role has diminished so much. I was just making a list. Stoinis, Mitch Marsh, he's injured half the time. Pandya, Russell, maybe Venkatesh Iyer, maybe Darrell, Mitchell, Dickett. There aren't too many of that kind suddenly going around.
Yeah, it's the toughest skills to have, as a combined skill set in a human body. Fast bowling and middle order batting, because over a period of time, there have been far and few in between who have done well. Jack Carlis, Kapil Dev, these have been great ones, but they play 2 formats. Now, when you play 3 formats, I can definitely see a few of these all-rounders who are bowling 4 overs and batting. I don't think they'll prefer Test cricket too much, because it's not possible. You saw Ben Stokes being literally pushed into the ground by Joe Root in the Ashes when he bowled bouncers and did what he did, and he was out for the last 2 tests from bowling. So the moment you increase the load, you don't get the best out of himself as a batter. So that in turn puts pressure on the cricketer himself. So it's a bit of a cycle, so to say. But I can see a lot of these guys doing it in T20 to an extent if they have both the skills. But even if you take a Daryl Mitchell, for example, he doesn't bowl. They give it to him only the 19th or only 20th over, which is very interesting, but they seem to use him like that. So you tell me one cricketer who you will say do both. I think Hardik and Russell obviously stand out in this. But even them, the amount of injuries that they've had over a period of time say that it's a very, very, volatile set of skills to choose.
Yeah, and Marcus Stoinis, of course, gives you an opener option as well. And Rahul would like to bat with him because then he can be captain. He can play like he likes playing at his own speed and tell Stoinis to go hammer and tongs. And Harsha just said that he'd be sitting at home and laughing. Remember, in the old days, you laughed your way to the bank, but now everything is on an app and quarantine is very serious in Australia. So that's why he's laughing at home, checking his balance on his app. So that's the two teams, Ahmedabad and Lucknow. That's what they've done. Interesting, of course, the auction's going to be on the 12th and 13th of Feb, and we're going to be here on Cricbuzz, of course, through the whole thing. This is where it all started. Harsha, if you remember, what was it, 4 years ago? Where Cricbuzz Live started with you, me, and Joy at the auction. 2 long days going live, wasn't it?
And DK was just sitting at home counting, but you're right, like how much? So.
DK, as I tell you, talk about laugh. His bank was laughing with him as well. Everybody was laughing. It's like, yeah, baby. Yeah.
Why do you think he's never stopped laughing since?
He hasn't. It's because he's a happy guy. He's a happy guy. He is. That's it. We're not going to jinx it for him now. We're not going to jinx it. It's going to be another year of that. DK.
We're not jinxing it for Ane either. No jinxing.
No jinx. We're sending you love and light, brother. Love and light. All the brothers. We're sending you all at home love and light as well because you need it. And the joy factor question comes. You need love. You need not light. You need enlightenment. You need to answer these questions. The question is, what derives its origin from the shortening of a native name meaning either whirling waters or fight dog plays? Which language is this question? What is this? Harsha, what is this question? What is this? What is the meaning of this?
See, my first thought was it must be some place somewhere in New Zealand with the Maori word coming out of somewhere, like Tahiotara.
Be Australian as well. Could be Aboriginal.
But this is in South Africa. So there must be some place near Paarl or something that has an Afrikaans origin or something, whatever. But Joyce had a little time, I think, on his hands.
DK, come on. Any guesses?
Oh, no. I didn't even, when the first line you read, I just switched off. It's just not up my alley.
He was non-striker. He just switched off.
That's fine. I'm here for you. I'll do the question again. I want you to think about it. Bring it. Come on. Bring the question again. DK didn't get it. Come on here. What derives its origin from the shortening of a native name meaning either whirling waters or fight talk place? Here's my thing. What is the... Sir, doesn't Paarl have a long name as well? Harsha, this is what Harsha he knows.
ठीक ठाक तो चल रहा था.
नहीं?
Okay, I will Google and see Paarl long name.
Yeah. What is that other long name? Potchefstroom.
That is Potchefstroom, Baba. And
what is it?
Potchefstroom.
Potchefstroom.
And then around there is the Stellenbosch, which is the big wine territory and whatever. I Googled Paarl long name and I got Pearl Jam long song name.
Any better?
So it's not that.
By the way, DK, I just want to know if you have any opinion on this. We finished the cricket talk now. So if you have any opinion on this, this is the second time in 30 minutes on a Wednesday afternoon that Harsha's brought up wine. Do you think this sabbatical's gone on too long for him?
Yeah, Harsha needs to get on the road now. I think it's been way too long in his house after a long time, actually.
Yeah. Harsha, anything? Something? Can I send you something? Merlot?
Spent too much time with Alan Wilkins, who kept telling me about Paarl and Stellenbosch and all these areas. So that's why.
Shri Wilkins. By the way, I just want to tell you, this is Harsha just talking a big game. He's taken the name wine twice. The max I've seen him have is 1 glass. So really, he's just talking a bit. He's not walking his talk. All right, we will do a little guessy guess. Let's do a little guessy guess. Can we do that? What's India gonna get? What you gonna get? What you gonna get? What's your South Africa? Sorry, what's they batting first? What you they gonna get? Guessing time. Come on. DK, go first.
280.
280. Okay, interesting.
Small ground. Smallish ground. The get runs over there. Good batting lineup. Maybe 279.
And park your car on top of his car.
No. I will go 268. No, actually, no. I'll go over. I'll go 290.
So 280, 290. Oh, beautiful.
I'm just assuming that it plays by reputation, huh?
We don't know. We'll find out. That's why it's a guessing game. I'm going to go with 263. 263.
What an actor.
That's it. These are the
you
guesses.
wanted 263, but I love the way you were Terra. You dragged it out to say 263.
Yeah, it was coming to me. The mediums were talking to me. The mediums. All right. We're going to go now. And we're going to see you in Cricbuzz Combox. That's going to be, when is it, 15th over? That's right. We're going to have one at the 15th over. Of course, the first one is going to be with Dinesh Karthik and Harsha Bhogle. And then I'm going to be here for the second one with whoever wants to sit here with me. I have no friends. I'm Gaurav Kapur. Big thank you to Dinesh Karthik and Harsha Bhogle. You were all watching Cricbuzz Live. This is India, South Africa. We're here the whole series with you in all the innings breaks, end of the game, beginning of the game, and of course with the Combox updates. So stay with us through the day on Cricbuzz. Thanks for watching.